there.
I mean, we can start very hostile right now. Do y'all want to just like go on a roast fest of Brady real quick, or anybody? I guess.
Where do we start?
Brennan, I can't see Rolling Rock anywhere nowadays without thinking of you at this point.
Well,
You're the
you.
only person I know that drinks Rolling Rock.
Dean drinks it occasionally. Oh, fuck.
Getting her started early.
Well,
You want to
then
write down
we'll just,
20 seconds real quick?
or we just start after that.
We start after
I mean,
that.
that is also an option.
Well, don't forget that it's in there, though.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, that's the guy who forgot to apologize for last
I
week.
probably want that.
You know what,
I can
Brady?
hear myself.
I
think it's so
apologize to
funny.
all the 7 listeners that we probably know 6 personally that I didn't get the podcast out on time last time. We had a guest on who was a bartender, and let's just say we gave him the rules and he just threw them out the window. So
Yep.
editing that episode is going to be a pain in my fucking ass. It is going to be like the beginning when I was trying to edit out echoes, when we were sitting in my living room where I'm cutting each and every single thing that somebody says and bleeping it.
It was so funny because I was sitting here, and if you listen to that episode first, you'll know this. But I'm sitting here, and I'm just like, like I'm trying to cut in, and he just keeps
going.
rattling off the names of people and places, and then whenever he finally gets stopped, because you know how hard it is to get him to stop talking sometimes, because he's just a very passionate guy about a lot of things. I explained to him why we do the thing that we do. And he proceeds to just go on and keep naming places and
Yeah.
people and whatnot. It's just like, oh great, whatever.
But,
Yeah.
but if Steve is listening to this, it was a pleasure to have you, Steve.
Oh,
It was
a great
great to
pleasure.
have you.
Good time.
It was
not
great
saying
to
that-
have you.
Steve,
But fuck you at the
Steve.
same time.
Steve, I'm so sad that I did not get to be on the podcast with you. Genuinely so sad about that.
It was very, I don't know, he could bring a different side to topics. And then for the listeners who may have seen this other podcast episode, we spent another at least a half an hour talking about all kinds of other things afterwards.
No, it wasn't a half hour of us talking about other things. It was a half an hour about him and Brennan arguing about the placement of the college playoff length thing
We
or
spent
whatever.
at least 15 minutes talking about politics.
Some dumbass had to bring up that I had a sports podcast, and he just wanted to espouse
Did
his
I bring that
opinions
up,
on
or-
me. You did,
Yes,
yes, you
okay.
did. Still,
Sorry.
I had to deal with drunken Steve throwing his drunken opinions at me about how good the MAC is
So how long?
as a college football
How good
conference.
the fucking
I
Mac.
know.
How long did
Oh
He
you?
tried
my
to sell me on how
God.
Bowling Green can make the college football playoff in the expanded model. I'm like, no.
How long?
And
Did,
beat Alabama. I'm like, no.
how long did you stand there and argue with him after I?
It
left?
wasn't 15 minutes after you left that I was like turning shit off and started cleaning up, and Brennan's like, yeah, Steve, I think Alex is trying to get to bed, so we gotta
I mean,
go.
here's the thing. It was hardly even an argument because he just talks so much, and he's just like,
yeah, you're just sitting there
I could
basically
hardly
listening.
get a word in. Alex was the witness.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, great. Here
You
we
should
go.
have seen it from. I went outside to start my car. I look into the glass window, and you could just. I couldn't hear anything, but all I see is Steve and Brennan just waving their hands at each other and making motions, and it was so much funnier that way.
So
It didn't
I-
get anywhere.
I apologize, but I also started up college this week, and I was prepping for it last week, trying to get my schedule figured out, because I didn't get my schedule figured out until last Wednesday.
Sounds like excuses to me.
You want to edit the podcast?
We are looking for a new editor.
How long have we been saying that? Still looking for the new editor.
Ever since the infancy of this brand.
Yeah. But, no.
I'm still waiting for my stick figure to pop up.
Yeah, yet again, that is my fault. It's no one else's fault but mine. And
Your stick
that one
figure-
I'll actually take full accountability for and won't give any excuses. It is literally just me being lazy at
Your
that
stick
point. 'Cause
figure-
I said that like a month and a half ago.
Your stick figure needs to be riding on Aaron's stick figure's back.
No. That'll ruin the logo.
Or something else.
No.
Can we go back to borderline hooligans?
Yes, please.
It's not April.
Only April?
Yeah, remember we said that because
Golly.
because it was you guys noticed it in April, and it was like April 1st when you guys noticed that. And I was like, yeah, I need to fix that. And I was literally going to fix it that night, and then you guys told me, no, don't fix it right now. We could just save it for April as like an April Fool's thing. And so we now have it every April. Or at least the past 2 Aprils, I put that up as our main thing.
Borderline.
Booterline Hooligans. So there's a little tidbit for listeners. If you pay attention in April, our logo will slightly change. I'm going to add salve to the Borderline
Will
hooligans
you
one.
though?
I will. I plan on it.
We are not entirely stupid. We are only somewhat stupid, and we can sometimes spell.
Yeah, we have a total of like 6 brain cells between all of us dudes. Sav probably has more than that, but like we can think sometimes.
Hey, man.
I think you're selling us a bit short, but don't be so hard to Brady. He might have 6, but
I pound nail with hammer. I do job good.
I plug wire into hole. 332 goes into 332. 707 goes into 707.
This
I do math.
metal will go in this box. This metal will go in that box.
Brian,
wipe.
I was just thinking. Brennan is
Wax
literally
on, wax off.
wax off. There you go.
Yeah, so not too many brain cells, but yeah,
Boy, do we all do menial labor?
it's a little more complex than that, but at the
Oh, it
same
is.
time,
I
like
know.
the basics.
We're really, really simplifying it.
Our career choices oversimplified.
Well, now that I think about it, all of us are probably like, of all the people on our same level. Although Brennan, no offense to you, but you don't have. It's like you and your uncle that are working the business, right? There's
Yep.
no one else.
Yeah.
So, but like, I imagine you're pretty on par with your uncle in running that thing, right?
Oh yeah.
He's
Yeah.
gonna have to coming up.
And I imagine Aaron, from what I've heard from Aaron, he's pretty high up under his boss's eyes. I know for a fact Brady's pretty high up under his boss's eyes. Apparently, I'm the best electrician that NIDAC has right now.
That's
So-
tough. Just to note to anybody looking at anything made by NIDAC coming up,
You gotta believe both
you started
those.
with it.
You just said
the
your
name of your
company.
I said NIDAC. NIDAC is a worldwide company.
So you're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not giving the specific location
Okay.
because we're in multiple spots in the U.S. We're in Spain.
I thought he was just gonna start naming off
No.
towns. I'm like,
No.
Steve.
No,
That's what Steve
we're
did.
in multiple spots in
That's
the
literally
U.S.
what Steve did.
We're in Japan, China, Spain, Mexico, Canada.
A lot of places.
Yeah, NIDAC is a worldwide brand. So
Okay.
All
But for
right.
you, but just for people
Yeah.
out there,
Notice how
shouldn't
he
buy
didn't
anything
say
made
my
by
name
NIDAC.
in this.
I guess I should say at my branch,
I think
I'm
we're
the
just
best
talking about
electrician they have
us.
right
I
now.
guess we're just going on about us.
Because you just started a new job,
Yeah, I did.
so it's kind of hard to say with you.
H&R Block, man.
Yeah, you want to do my taxes?
No, I actually kind of hate it.
You only have to worry about that if you pay taxes.
I just had my mom do
Who
my
the fuck's
taxes.
paying
so-
taxes?
I know.
Become ungovernable.
I have paid taxes for fun.
I pay taxes for fun.
I just like thinking my taxes to go to someone like Ron Swanson.
Yes. Except he would gladly decline your tax money if it
Probably.
meant sticking a middle finger to the government.
That's true. But
You're not a citizen. Keep it.
so
You've
this-
earned it.
last weekend, all of us went to the big raffle that is around.
Very
here.
disappointed.
Yeah,
Very.
no one in our group won.
Not even
Worst.
the big winners won a thing.
I honestly still blame the bartender for the luck that I had the night before when the big drawing was, because this event is Friday and Saturday. Friday, all of us were up there. I've got bored up there Friday and didn't want to go up
I
Saturday.
literally
Fine,
was
Sarah.
there for an hour and wanted to leave. So I did not
It was
go
pretty
Saturday.
hot. But
It was hot, and Friday night is not the night to go.
I say Saturday's the good.
Saturday.
day.
Saturday's the day to go.
Well, but she absolutely would have hated it on Saturday. Because
Yeah,
it's
she
Because it
would.
was
just
all day.
the same thing, but more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with
None of us won anything. It was really disappointing.
My dad has been going there for 5 years. Has won every year except for this year, first year.
I still think it's me.
It's you, Aaron.
It's
I'm
gotta
still
be.
You
blaming
went
the luck
last
at the
year a little
bar.
bit, didn't you?
No,
No.
Not at all.
that was Cam. Cam went last year
I
a
thought
little
you
bit.
went too though.
Even then, I think that was 2 years ago. I don't even think he went last year.
Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah.
No, but I was like really sad. I was really hoping at least one of us would win something, especially going with you and your dad, Brady. It's like I honestly expected one of you two to win something. So I was like, yeah, I could feel happy that at least one of us won something. But no, none of us.
We
won
do the
anything.
same way. Like when we go to these raffles, we have like a couple different groups we go to a couple different raffles with, and usually as long as someone in the group wins, everybody's got a little bit of excitement. You know.
Yeah.
I would have been okay with absolutely anybody who won
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Didn't they also sell twice as many tickets as last year?
Not twice as
No,
many.
it was-
2,000 more.
Yeah.
2,000 more.
Oh, it was 8,000 last year.
Yeah.
I thought they went from 5 to 10.
They went from 8 to 10.
And then they're doing 10 again next year.
I don't think they'll really expand it much. They're kind of running out of room for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
more.
I think at most they'll do
I mean,
more side
considering
raffles
there's like 30 women waiting to use the restrooms there
on both sides.
on both sides.
Yeah, so like they had a shelter house that had a men and women's bathroom on both sides. The men's restroom on one side was always at least a line of like 4 or 5 people. The women's line on that side was at least like 20 to 30. You go to the other side, there's like no wait for the dudes, and then the line on that side is like 15 to 20 women standing outside
The
of it.
best part, going into the men's restroom on the opposite side, walking right in. As I walk in, there's a woman walking out of the
Stall.
stall in the bathroom, which happens every year because they get busy and they don't give a fuck. They're drunk.
Yeah.
And this one dude that was at the urinal next to me was drunk and for whatever reason was mildly ticked off that this woman was in there. And she was like, I don't know, in her 30s or 40s. So she was not like some young lady. And this kid's probably fucking my age, early 20s. And he's washing her hands. Just there's a partition wall between him and her. And he's just like, ew, what are you doing in here? And you can tell he's drunk as hell. And she's like, it'll be fine. Just get over it. And he's just like, come on, my dick's in my hand. You can't be in here. And she's just like, it'll be fine.
It's a drunk fest.
And
What
then
do you
she's
expect to
waiting on
happen?
her friend in the other stall. And he's just like, get out of here. Don't know what he's still doing at the urinal. Like 3 people have walked up, gone to the bathroom, and left by now. Like,
Maybe he's a shy peer, Brady.
Yeah.
and he's
He's
just,
a grower,
I
not
don't
a
know.
shower.
That doesn't make you a shy peer.
Is that you, Brennan?
Because
Absolutely.
I'm neither.
I don't think any of us here are showers, if I'm being blatantly honest. I have yet to meet someone that proudly says, I'm a shower.
He's got a baby's arm. It's like a baby's arm holding an apple.
Like a kickstand.
It's a kickstand.
Oh, man.
No, but that Friday night, Brady was driving us all home because, we were drinking. And I just told him, like, yeah, just drop me off at the watering hole. I want to go drink a couple more beers, talk to the bartender, hang out for a bit. And she wanted to do pull tabs, so I was like, all right, cool. I got 7 ones. Go pull 7 pull tabs, and I won $125. And then I think that ruined the luck for the next day, to be honest. What little luck I had.
You say that, but I've noticed there's this weird thing for like usually, I don't know, maybe it's just a thing me and Dad do, but there's been several times where we've won more than one thing.
Yeah.
Like myself personally,
Brady, the last time I won a raffle, I was 17. Actually won anything with gambling, I was 17. I am now 24. So I'm going to have to wait another 7 years before I win anything at that rate.
my dad has gone to probably at least 4 raffles where he's come home with at least 2 things. One time I know for a fact he's come home with 3 things, 2 guns and a jar of cash.
Yeah.
I have also done money and gun. I've done that as well.
Oh, shit.
If you think about the odds, like it actually does make sense that not any of us won anything.
Yeah, I know, but
But
it just
I feel like we've been spoiled. You've been spoiled coming up too recently.
Spoiled. I mean, I guess I
This
won.
year's been your year.
I won 2.
3, 1
Events.
raffle, and
3 guns, 2 events, but like that's the first time I've ever won anything. So I mean,
Ew.
compared to you, I am
Bye.
nowhere.
you're ahead of me.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Last time I was a gun, I was in the 4th grade, and Dad put my name down on some fucking like 50. It wasn't a 50-50, but it was like some
Like a fire department or something.
It was something with a legion around us or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And his phone rings, and he answers the phone, and the guy's like, "Is Aaron there?" And Dad just hands me a cell phone. I was talking to him, and I thought it was bullshit. And then next thing you know, I got a letter in the mail saying that I won a 410 shotgun. Or no, a 223 Remington single shot.
I remember you saying it was a
right.
single shot, yeah. And your mom made you,
I traded for a 22, a scope, and $80 cash.
what kind of 22 was it?
It's Remington.
It was probably definitely a downgrade, but
Yeah, it was 100% a downgrade.
But, I was in the 4th grade at the time. I was fucking
Yeah,
10
but
years old.
still, like,
nowadays you'd be better off.
Nowadays,
Yes.
well, now I use that 22 for squirrel hunting now, but, I mean, I probably wouldn't use the
Bro, when do you
223
go
for-
squirrel hunting?
when I have time.
In the almost 3 years I've known you, never once have you mentioned squirrel hunting.
Because I don't have time anymore.
You take up a lot of time.
You took away his
Goose
squirrel hunting
hunt?
salve. How do you feel about that?
What did you say?
You took away his squirrel hunting salve. How do you feel about that?
I didn't do shit.
Alex, we're gonna shoot the neighborhood squirrels. Let's go.
I'm about to go to that abandoned house north of my house and just fucking go ham on them
It's
fucking
not
cats.
abandoned anymore.
They're
Somebody
gonna tear
bought
it down.
Someone bought it.
They're gonna tear it down.
Just because they bought it doesn't mean someone's gonna live in there. I mean,
There was a big ass
they're gonna
dumpster there
remodel
taking
it.
everything out of there. I'm pretty sure they're tearing it down.
Sarah and Sab, you guys had a pretty nice trip, I guess. Anything you want to talk about from that trip, or any stories?
I did the one thing Alex told me not to do, and that was to get crossfaded for the first time.
Solid.
Big fucking mistake on my end.
It must be a thing with you and your brother.
I lasted
Yeah.
I lasted 2 minutes being crossfaded and be like, I gotta go. She's
It
like,
takes-
where? I'm like, bathroom now. Went down there, threw my guts up, and then I went to bed.
Yeah.
It was.
I know another guy that did that same thing. That's weird. It's almost like you guys are brothers.
Ah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he did that his first time doing it.
Oh,
You
Yeah,
did
that's
it
true.
your second. What's the difference?
He at least had a little experience beforehand.
I knew what to expect.
EXP.
A little bit.
Nothing beats
it's-
Cam.
like,
just
it-
like
It just made my drunkenness feel intensified.
But that's all it does. Once you get to a certain
Advanced
level of drunk, it's no
drunkenness.
longer like a combination of two equal things. It's, hey, you're really far into one thing, and then you just mix another thing in, and it just boosts you to over
Yeah.
the line.
It's like taking two half-ass things and whole-assing it.
Because
whole-assing both things
Yes.
at the same time.
because my drunken stage was pretty good at that time.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, let me take a hit of that. And I took a hit. I'm like, this might have been a mistake.
Yeah.
see, Cam's was a little different. He was already drunk, and his thing was he kept taking hits because like I'm not feeling anything yet, and he just
I
wanted to
told him
feel
to
something
stop
real
multiple
quick.
times.
He was
I was
like,
I wouldn't do that.
"You should just settle," and he's like, "Nope, I gotta try. I'm not."
No,
feeling
I
anything."
took one rip of this shit and it put me on my ass.
No, I think he said he wanted to try it, and I was like, all right, we'll go smoke half a bowl between the two of you, so it's about a quarter bowl each,
Mhm.
or between the two of us. We'll go smoke half a bowl, and then we'll hit the dab 2 times max, and we'll see where you're at after you sit down for a little bit. He's like, okay. So we go smoke the bowl. I pull out the cart, and we hit it a couple times each, and I was like, all right, now we should take a break and let it kick in. He's like, I'm not feeling anything yet. I was like, I'm telling you, I wouldn't hit that anymore. You're gonna get fucked up. And he goes, no, I'm gonna hit it some more, so that way I feel something. And he starts hitting it some more.
Rookie
I think
Boy,
he hit it
felt
like
something.
5 or 6 more times.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And then he's chilling, sitting down on the couch, and
No, you'll sit in my chair.
well, yeah, and he's just like chilling there. And I remember he like wasn't saying much, and I'm like, things are not going well. And then Alex, do you have a bucket just in case? Just in case my ass. It wasn't less than 5 minutes after he had that damn bucket he was using.
I don't even think it was 5 minutes.
And he
It
was,
like,
really
a lot less
pale
than-
when he asked for that bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't listen to me at all. That was also my first night working at the watering hole when you guys came back there. And he was like talking to me all night saying he wants
We
to do
talked
that.
him into leaving early so we could go do that.
Yeah. The bartender let us leave so that way I can go get him high for the first time.
That's funny.
Not just high.
She was an OG.
Yeah,
I miss her.
so do I.
Still have her. We Snapchat.
She added me on Snapchat.
We
I
gotta
texted
start
her
a
couple times.
petition.
A petition.
Oh, don't worry. The reason why she quit will work her way out. Don't worry. I have a feeling about
Things
that.
will
Oh,
all work.
100%.
Things will all work.
But would she
out.
come back?
I don't know.
No,
Probably not.
Damn, yo.
Because I think she found a better place to work.
she did.
She did.
100%.
If she does, I don't think she's going to come back before she has her kid.
She's still bartending or something
Yeah.
different? Oh.
Kinda. Better hours, at least.
Yes.
The end of an era.
It's starting to feel like it.
It really is. Quite depressing.
It
You could
is.
say that.
Because one of our other favorite bartenders also quit. And it sounds like a lot of other ones that we really like are on their way out the door.
I like how you say that, but he was on the podcast. You can say his name.
Oh yeah, Steve.
Hell's a
Hey,
man
I'm
with
in
you.
podcast mode, man. You see how this brain works?
Yeah.
I'm in podcast mode. Yeah,
I was just like, Steve was
quit.
on here.
Yeah, Steve quit. So
And then another thing that happened on our vacation was so every year we had a tradition that we go to one of the bars up there called Frosty's. It's where I got this banana shirt. It's a wonderful shirt
That everybody talks about.
that
Literally.
everybody fucking talks about. But so this year, unfortunately, we went there towards the end of the year and they were running out of our sizes. So like not everyone could get a shirt, and we're like, if not all of us can do it, we're not going to do it, because then we just think we'd look stupid at that point. Because the whole thing was everyone bought the same shirt, well, all the guys. So it'd be like me, her brother, her brother-in-law, and sometimes her dad. Her being Sav, who's on her phone right now.
I'm playing bingo.
Well,
Of
and
course
Are
she
you
is.
on your phone?
play your fucking bingo all you want. I don't care.
I'm listening. I'm still talking.
Pull up some Minesweeper real quick.
Minesweeper.
Hey, yo, you got Minecraft on this bitch? Anyways. So this year we didn't buy any, but her brother actually came in clutch because he actually bought shirts, bucket hats, and pants that all matched. And so we were riding around in a golf cart. All four of us wearing the exact same thing. People were taking photos of us. We could
Bro,
see
they
people.
look so stupid.
We could see people pointing at us, and I wore my bucket hat the dumbest way possible.
oh, by the way, it's sitting out there still.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But like there's this lady at one of the bars. She actually came up to us. She's like, "Can I take a picture with you guys?" I was like, "Sure." It was very weird. Some middle-aged woman wanted a picture with all of us.
I don't know. It's just something fun to do, if you ask me.
It's fun.
It's like I would like doing stuff like that is something stupid you got to do on vacation just to enjoy yourself. You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean?
I mean, like I don't know any of these fuckers here.
Yeah. Why the fuck do I care what they think?
Exactly.
And all my friends back home that I tell about this are gonna think it's hilarious. So
Exactly.
Where's Frosty's at again?
Put-in Bay.
You know how far away we were talking.
A little ways.
yeah.
You can see Cedar Point from one of the boat rides to another island up there. But yeah, it's like 2.5 hours away, give or take.
Far enough.
Yeah.
Far enough. It wouldn't be a bad place for us to go, but we just
Yeah, we got to figure that out. We got to come up with I think the first things first, when you come up with a definitive weekend that we're gonna do this.
okay. So here's the thing. You know how we talked about Brown County?
Yeah.
Her friend is actually doing a birthday party, and Brown County was brought up.
Huh.
So we might actually be going there. And if me and Sav like it, we'll let you guys know. And
Yeah. I just think like we need to define a definitive weekend during the summer where like we're blocking off everything. We are doing it this weekend. We'll figure out where the fuck we're going later, but
that
we need
takes
to figure.
advanced planning,
Yeah.
which we're not the best at.
Advanced.
No,
advanced
we're absolutely
darkness.
terrible at. I
You're
mean,
trash
look at this
at that.
podcast for fuck's sake. You look how we progress through this podcast and how we plan things, and then it just falls apart. And
you know that D&D podcast we're going to do? Look at that motherfucker. That bitch doesn't exist
Do you
still.
know how we planned Tuesdays? We were sitting around going, man, when are we going to record these podcasts? And somebody was like, hey, maybe some time after everybody's done with stuff, like 8 o'clock on just random day. I'm like, how about Tuesdays? And that was it.
now we're here every
We went with
Tuesday at
that.
8 o'clock.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to, if it wasn't so much work for me to do the editing and the dungeon mastering, I wouldn't mind doing the D&D podcast still.
Right.
But at this point, it's like I want to do it the way I want to do the D&D won't work well with the podcast setup,
yeah.
if that makes sense.
No, it does. But I'm just saying. That's
Yeah.
just an example of what
Doesn't
usually
mean we can't do it in the future, though.
doesn't mean we can't, but I'm just saying
That
unlike
plan fell through very fast.
very quickly.
Future.
I still think we should do the Halloween stream, though. That should be at least something we do
The
every
Halloween
year.
stream was killer last year. We
Bro,
need
that
to
was
get
so fun.
we need to get some kind of horror game to play again.
I think we
Right.
should do that camera one that you're talking about where you find oddities
Ooh,
and stuff. I
yes.
think that'll be good.
Anomalies, yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be fun as hell.
That'd be a good one.
we have to do some.
Or
Something-
or a Five Nights at Freddy's game.
Yeah.
It has to be something Halloween related, though.
Got it. Yeah, it's definitely got to be a horror game.
Yeah.
Even then, like, we don't necessarily need to have one game for the entire stream.
So we could play a couple small
No,
ones.
but-
If it's a shorter one, we can switch halfway through, like have a little
Yeah, but there's
intermission. And
not too many really good horror games that are short.
I'm just saying,
I don't
Like,
know.
'cause
There's some pretty good indie horror games.
Yeah, there is. But you also got to understand a short game is like 10 to 15 hours of gameplay.
no,
Something we wouldn't be able to get done in one night.
They
it's not
do
even
make
get
a lot of
everything done in one
short
night either.
indie games
Yeah,
that are
but
like
there's
an
some
hour or
like
two.
really short indie games that are like an hour or two of gameplay.
I mean, the only reason why we had Mortuary Assistant have some sort of finality is because you guys played it how many times before that. So
Yeah.
it's
That
not
was
like,
the perfect ending.
It's
Still
not
to
like
this
we-
day.
I think before we even started the stream, we played it, 3-4 times?
Yeah.
it's not
And
like
then we played it like, I think 3 or 4 times on the stream, and we got the perfect ending.
yeah. So it's not like we have to play a game the entire way through. Just
No,
throwing
but-
out ideas.
no, I get what you're saying, but like a short game, quote unquote,
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
because like I don't think Phasmophobia would be very good, to be honest, unless we can all get PCs and do it that way. Unless we're all
But we're
playing.
not doing that.
I don't know if I can compete with the adrenaline rush I got from playing Phasmophobia VR for the first time.
No, I can't go back to it anymore. I can't play it in VR because it still freaks me out from what happened, and I can't play it on a computer screen anymore because it's so good in VR.
I don't think though that adrenaline rush will ever be recreated for me. That feeling,
Of
Like-
like you're there.
yeah, it like except for the fucking lights going out of my room and a fucking ghost appearing in front of me in real life, I don't think I can compete with
That.
that. Like it was something else. An experience and a half. I didn't stop talking about it for an entire week.
It's a good. I'm still freaked out about it though.
Or if any of y'all out there have any suggestions on what we should play.
Oh hell
Yeah, just
Feel
I guess
free
hit
to-
us on our like dead ass fuck Twitter
X.
Hey.
It's
or
X.
X. I might have to change the intro now.
Fuck.
You should just get like one of them text to speech things and just hit the letter X,
X.
and then have it put that in for when you say Twitter.
It's just like the commander
X.
of the Redskins. X will always be Twitter. It is what it is.
Or make like the Siri voice that says X. You'd be like X.
No, it's got to be like super fucking bad, like really really bad.
Just stand far away from the microphone. Just fucking yell it.
X.
There you go.
You just mentioning yelling. The part of the fucking Halloween stream where to keep the screen on, we had to yell and you fucking scream so
I
that I
carried
could
us
see
to
what I was
that part.
doing.
It was so good. I still think that like that really helped with the stream too, is using that Ixper stuff. Where
Oh yeah.
And I know my one online friend kept buying stuff, and I was like, just tell me when you're out, and I'll put more in. And he never said anything. He just kept spending.
You
money.
want to
It's like-
support the cause.
like, I'm glad you can, but that's not why we're doing this. We're doing this to build, not to make money.
We'll worry about
Grand old time though.
we'll worry about the money part later.
Smashing.
When this becomes like a full-time job, we'll worry about it then.
Yeah.
I need
Otherwise,
to-
otherwise, keep your fucking money. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
this,
just like
this economy. God damn.
Well, it was a lot better last year, to be honest.
It was, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some looking on some like just some indie horror games that I think are good that we can try
Yeah.
out.
And we'll get Dixper up again, and I'll try to be more on that and try. I was paying attention pretty hard, and I was dropping like crazy on there, but I'll get it better.
It was also fun for me to be able to get on my phone and fuck around with other people while
Yeah,
I was in the
room. Gotta see it in real time. Poster stood up, wait 10 seconds, and it pops up. I still think Hello Kitty is the best one.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that one was.
It was literally like just Hello Kitty pops on the screen and does like one of their little Hello Kitty voices and then disappears.
There was a couple of times where I was like, I don't remember this scare in the game. Like, oh, probably because it's not part of the game. I do need to play that game again though. That game is so much fun.
I still have fucking Vietnam flashbacks of that black man in the hallway, man. I'm telling you.
Yes,
That was
That was one of the
horrifying.
best rounds of us playing that game ever.
Ever.
I'm really upset that it wasn't during the stream. Like,
That
that,
might
was
have
just
been
us
the-
hanging out in my living room, randomly playing it, and
Yep.
that. Oh,
Because that could have been Sav playing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I
You
was
started
supposed
that.
to be. Yeah.
I'm actually surprised you stepped up to the plate and tried it entirely. I mean,
I still would rather watch you guys play it. Like it's
Yeah.
just
It is a whole like even watching Aaron play it is nowhere near as much of an experience as sitting down and doing it myself.
yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it is way better.
I'd rather focus more on the scares than
Yeah,
embalming bodies and
adrenaline
putting eye
rush
caps in
is
and
just
sewing
great.
jaws shut.
Now, if I can play that in VR, if you find out that that's in VR at some point, I will step up to the plate and give it a shot.
We're gonna make that a stream though. I hope you realize that.
I will fucking do it.
Oh, I'm 100%.
I will
that.
fucking
Yes.
be pumped as shit to play Mortuary Assistant VR.
The draw will be
With
for us because we
Dixper
get to watch
involved.
you do it.
I legitimately just got mild goosebumps thinking about being in that fucking room
Oh God.
That's
and being
kind
able to
of,
see things fucking out of the corner of my eye. I am actually, somebody needs to make this happen if it's not.
My luck, I would have that same fucking fat black guy in the hallway. I'd just turn around and be like, "You motherfucker!"
That would be hilarious.
I want
That would be
Same time,
great.
so
horrifying.
badly to do this. There's certain games that just need to be in VR, and I think that one would turn out really well. Because also you're thinking about the fact that you feel like there's a dead body sitting in front of you. It
Yeah.
would be kind of disgusting, but but to actually feel like you're in that fucking experience, boy, that's got to be adrenaline rush and a half.
Or when Grandma comes up to stab you.
Oh,
She
shit.
comes up to the window.
I was gonna say, like, think about all like the story events you go through and everything that you have to experience.
I was thinking of the one where you
one
go to
with the-
walk through the hallway
the thing
and
that
it
comes
fucking
out.
launches you to the other end, like they fucking grab you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Why don't we just look up some fucking indie horror games or something?
right now.
Yeah, fuck it.
All right.
Some of them I may have heard of, but
Well, I think the best
Or we
place.
just do horror games in general that have like,
Well, the best place to probably look is on Steam.
yeah, probably.
If I am logged in on this one.
'Cause I mean, worst comes to worst, I am 100% down just for doing like a Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, like
I'm not opposed to that.
honestly,
I
I'm
played
like-
Five Nights at Freddy's
I
3
just-
years ago when it came out.
I'm more interested in playing that like security cam anomaly game because honestly that just intrigues me and I like purposely have not watched anything on it other than the random stupid shit that I see on scrolling through, I guess at the time TikTok and now Reddit.
Mhm.
Just seeing that randomly,
Yeah.
it's just it gets me excited to see it, but I don't want to watch so much of it that I get spoiled for the game.
Yes.
Just so you know, I'm gonna go out and probably buy this at this point. I just forgot that there was a Five Nights at Freddy VR game,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
there's like,
I've seen people play it, and I forgot that I have VR now. I need to go buy this.
congratulations.
I don't like horror movies. I think they're stupid.
No, horror movies aren't the
but
same.
something about the idea of playing VR horror just fucking like gets me pumped.
You have to like psych yourself up to fucking do it. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do
But
it.
then like the feeling you get from it, it's like it's a combination of the worst and the best feeling you can experience.
Guys, come on. Worst comes to worst, we do some farming simulator, all right?
Yeah.
Farming Simulator VR.
Wait, I got to manually jump up in this tractor? What the fuck?
All right.
That doesn't look very good.
No, so a lot of these like tags on Steam, unfortunately, can be added by both the developer and like people that play the game based off what they think about it. So some of these are not going to be very horror-like. Like Subnautica, yeah, there's scary parts, but it's not a horror game.
No.
Yeah, it's not really built to be one.
No, but like Fallout 76, that's not
Definitely
a
not.
horror game.
No.
The Outlast Trials? I didn't know they
Escape
had
the
another
back
Outlast.
rooms.
VR.
I've seen Escape the Backrooms.
Yeah. Like that looks
That doesn't
interesting,
look
too.
bad.
But he also like it's also an indie developer as well, so it's
I'll have to do some research into that one.
Yeah.
like okay, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Master Duel is not a horror game.
I
Like it's a
know.
darker game, but it's not a horror game.
I disagree. It sounds pretty dark to me.
I used to play a shit ton of it. It is not a horror game. The fact that I sit there and I read cards to descriptions in order to build my deck better to screw someone over by a technicality makes it not.
Yeah, DayZ, not.
I can see how it could be, but it's not
It's got zombies in it. Does not make it a horror game.
game. No. Grounded is not.
Gorilla Tag.
Definitely not a horror
Gorilla
game.
tag.
When you're literally playing tag with 10-year-olds and moving around with your arms.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of 10-year-olds get scared playing that game.
Demonologist.
Ooh.
The co-op game that can be played with at least 1 and up to 4 players. Your goal is to identify the type of evil spirits and cursed places and exorcise it using your equipment. So it's like Phasmophobia.
it
with
sounds like
exorcism.
Phasmophobia.
It's a phasmophobia,
But you're not trying to.
Just identify. You're also trying to get rid of.
Yeah.
That one could be interesting.
which adds an interesting element to it.
Yeah.
We'll add it to the wish list to look at later.
Yeah.
Stray is about a cat.
Yeah.
I've
is
seen
that a horror
Stray.
game?
That's definitely not
My
horror.
brother has been playing that.
It's a good story. I
I've heard
watched
it's
one of my
pretty
friends
good.
play it. Yeah, this is Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach.
That's the one that came out
The
last
new
year.
Security
yeah.
Breach DLC, I will admit, I watched somebody play the entire thing because I really liked it, actually. You can think of me what you will for that.
No, like I actually got into like the Five Nights at
User.
I
Sav,
still
why don't you tell Brady what game you watch being played on YouTube?
What a guess.
Among Us?
No.
Sims.
I'd be lying if I said I hadn't done it, but it's been years.
The
No,
last
that's my.
It's
kick
got to
right
be.
now.
It's got to be a good person playing it too, because I'm not really playing it.
It's more or less to
watching
see the
them.
people who are playing it communicate and
Yeah.
commentate than it is to watch someone play Among Us.
Oh, that's not what I want. What about Sims? I
that's
watched
not
them
a
build
horror game.
houses.
Encryption is a good game. It is a good game.
It
I like
is-
that.
It is a horror game.
Yeah, it is. But it's. I don't know.
Have you finished that yet?
No, I still haven't done anything past that weird part that I'm at right now.
Generation Zero. I've played that, and it definitely is kind of a horror game.
But it's not like horror like we're
No.
thinking.
What's Omori?
Mori.
Mortuary assistance on there.
It should be.
Definitely looks like a horror game.
It looks like it's just like a bright game that has dark parts.
There's a lot, I like games like that though, where you start playing them and it's like all happy and different things,
And it
then
goes
gets,
dun-dun.
it gets real dark.
Yeah, but I imagine it doesn't get real dark inside of a short time period unless it's a very early indie.
Bigfoot.
Bower, what's this? Oh, we gotta stop possessed cultists before they drag you to hell. It's just running and hiding like Outlast.
I hate
Oh,
when they
I've seen
do that.
I've seen gameplay.
The
of that.
long ride
is not a horror
Hey,
game,
you
but
can
it is a
get-
good game.
Wait a minute. You can get killed by snowmen with human hands.
You get killed by rabbits.
They're pretty scary.
They are.
They're
But it's-
fucking half the size of people.
Look at the
Wait a minute. The rabbits.
This is Monty
Hold on.
Python vibes.
The rabbits half the size of people that have red eyes.
It's a rabbit.
Let's see if they have any.
You can also get.
They don't have
killed
any. Do they have any pictured? They
during
should.
the Christmas thing. You could also get killed by a snowman, and it would make like human in pain noises, and it would come towards you, and it had one like stick arm, like a regular arm, and then one arm would just be a bloody human arm.
Oh.
And they didn't tell anybody about adding this. They just kind of did it. That one is the one I need to check out. That's the
Yeah.
one on VR.
Yes,
Inside the back rooms.
we talked about that.
No,
No, that was Escape the Back
There's a
Rooms.
lot
This
of-
is- there's a lot of backroom games that have been coming out in the past couple
Oh,
years.
So what are
shit.
the concept of these games?
Have
Like,
you
you
heard
never
about
heard of
the
the
back
Backrooms?
rooms?
no, I'm not a gaming
So
person.
supposedly-
No, it's not a gaming thing. It's a creepypasta.
So supposedly,
No, I'm not gotten up with that.
there's a
stuff.
bunch of people who claim to have experienced in dreams this room, they call it the back rooms, where it's a bunch of like very pale yellow walls and that really dim like square lighting.
It's basically like the inside of an old 90s office, but it's never ending, and there's weird things inside of it.
Always weird corridors, and
And
the
it's
people
like,
claim to have
like
seen these
the
in dreams.
terrain changes, they see weird creatures.
I think I may have had one. Of
You
these
might have
dreams.
seen like little snippet videos of someone like falling into a hole or something, and then they get up and then they're in like something that's like that 90s office, and they start walking around and with their camera out, and then they see this like creepy thing come running at them, so they start running. They go through a doorway and they fall through this
Can you
down the
just go to-
sky, and then just like their phone lands, and like that's the end of the video.
Just go to Google and just look up the back room so that they can get an idea on what this looks like.
Like it's actually a very cool thing, if you ask me.
There is a certain feeling you get from like, I don't know, the whole back room esque.
Lola,
Hell
Bunny
yeah.
Lola
Space.
Bunny, I forgot about that.
You're not typing anything.
Oh, what? Fuck! How am I not typing?
Redirect
anything?
notice. You were redirected for looking at Lola Bunny porn.
It's not Lola Bunny porn. It's just Lola Bunny.
Me and
Just type in
DW
Lola Bunny.
I mean, it's
Lola
soft
Bunny
core, I
P.
mean-
Rule 34.
No, just Lola Bunny P.
That's the back rooms basically. I want to see a picture of it. We were in pictures. I wanted pictures. I don't want your
I
fucking
don't want
videos.
pictures.
Why are we watching?
I was just showing them what the back rooms looked like. I don't
That's
need
like
a
it's-
fucking.
creepy.
It's stuff like this.
the back rooms found footage. This guy has a monkey mask on.
That's racist. You can't do that.
It's literally a monkey mask.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
Damn it.
Good thing this is an audio only podcast.
It's something like this, like that.
The sound, like the droning buzz of the lights, as well as part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how people recreate this.
I think I've seen this before.
But this is the back rooms.
They all look slightly different. I mean, but this is kind of the same general idea for all of them.
That would be
Oh, this would be horrifying
as
to
hell.
walk through.
But supposedly, a bunch of people claim to have seen these in their dreams and different things. But
so. Like, where did they actually find a place like this then to make this film?
that I don't understand how they made this part.
You see that?
Yeah,
The whole creatures thing is part of the creepypasta. People like.
Yeah.
but like the whole backrooms thing can be just like something where they just wander around in these rooms. Basically, is how it works.
Yeah.
And I guess there's something that walks.
Me and DW have experienced a mild backrooms feeling. Was we had to pick up some recyclables from a local bank's basement. We went down there and it had that like noise from the lights and had the overhead lights, and like one corner was poorly lit, and like we were waiting on them to go find the lady that knew where something was at or something, and it was just an odd feeling. Like I pointed it out and he was like, "You're totally right." I think I've seen this clip.
I don't know if I've seen this exact one, but I've seen plenty of similar ones.
It's all the old wallpaper.
Yeah, the ceiling tile and the buzz of the lights and everything. No, but this goes on for a bit, but you get the idea of
Now
it.
do
the
me another
gist of it.
favor and go to Google Images and just look up Dreamcore. It's similar to Backrooms. Dreamcore is like very familiar looking things that you may have seen in your dream, and it kind of like that top left picture of the city, all the way top left. Like it's got this very familiar, but also you've definitely never been to this place. Like I'm not seeing a whole lot of pictures that are getting on TikTok when I used to be on there. Dreamcore videos used to pop up, and I'd be like, why do these pictures look so familiar? But I know for a fact I've never been to these places.
Or seen these places before.
Look up one more time. Go Dreamcore swimming pool. Leave Dreamcore in there, but for some reason there's like weird Dreamcore swimming pools that like they give you an odd feeling because they shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
I need to find. There's a video I have of a couple of them that like give me this really odd heebie-jeebie feeling.
Like the ones here that
Heebie-jeebies.
are at night kind of do that.
Yes,
I think it's kind of an uncanny
they kind of
feeling.
remind you from like hotel pools from the early 2000s when you were younger. Like they got this odd feeling to them.
It's kind of like the uncanny, like it's something presented to you in a situation that normally it's not in, like an
Yeah.
empty pool at night. It's just like kind of uncomforting.
we are back to looking at more games to play.
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty World War II.
That one sucked ass.
What was the Lobotomy Corporation Monster
did see
Management
that.
right there?
Doesn't sound like it's
so
a
it sound
very-
it's a
Okay, it looks like
so
it's
you
not
make a
that.
monster, you play through the game, your
Okay.
monster dies, you make another monster,
Okay.
you play through the game, and you get skills and stuff to carry throughout.
I was
Why
just
is
asking.
a Sims game under horror?
Sims 4 Werewolves game pack.
You
so,
can
No.
you can die in SimSav. Death shows up. I've seen it.
Yeah, I've drowned my baby in that game before.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
locked someone in a room and let them starve to death before.
Oh,
Me and Alex used to
Ah.
take my Sims on the PS2, and we would leave the one Sim alone in a house. Like we wouldn't take all the doors away or anything. But he didn't know how to cook without burning the house down. So we would just leave him alone, go off and play, and come back and see if he'd burnt the house down yet. Because as soon as he got hungry, he'd be like, "All right, I'm gonna go eat."
ah, shit.
And then
Here we go
sometimes he'd
again.
be successful at making food. Other
Yeah, I have a
times,
feeling we're gonna have to
burn the house down.
take
I will
a more
admit,
definitive look.
Five
than
Nights at
just
Freddy's
now.
sister location is one of the better, scary ones to me. I feel like.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely what we should do for Halloween. I would love to do another Halloween live stream like that again. That was awesome.
Among Us.
No,
I don't know. That's pretty scary to me.
hell no.
I'm surprised we didn't see it on the list.
I'm surprised too, to be honest with you. Surprised it wasn't like number 3 on the list. Like
could do
Among
this-
Us is fun to play every once in a while, Sab. Don't get me wrong, but no.
You guys hate me.
I hate to do this, Alex, but I'm relapsing right now. I'm downloading TikTok.
Brady,
got-
come on, we made it so long.
I've got to find this Dreamcore video. I don't care about anything else.
Better delete it after you download it.
I can do that.
It's all right. I don't care about anything else. I swear I'll delete it back. I swear.
Yeah, but there were some really good Dreamcore TikToks that they give you this weird goosebump feeling just by watching them, and I don't understand.
You probably just look them up on YouTube and call it good. And not delete that. Not have to add that godforsaken app again.
It'd be okay. I'm looking for one in particular.
It's you and me, Brennan. It's you and me. Air bump.
Brennan's the only true OG. He never had it in the first place.
Yeah, I should have never got it, to be honest.
I can't delete.
I understand why. You can't sit and watch a movie, so 30-second to 3-minute videos are probably your cup of tea.
And then, but I also get bored of TikTok, so I'm not on it for hours on end.
Yeah, see, that's my problem, is that
I get
mine was so
into it.
refined. Mine was so refined that I was intrigued or laughing at every other video.
Mm.
So it was like, swipe. Oh, there's just some random girl dancing. Swipe. Some little skit. That was kind of funny. Swipe. Here's this interesting history fact. And he goes and explains it for the next minute and a half. And it's like, that was interesting.
My problem would be I would be like, all right, I'm going to stop watching TikTok the next video I like. And I'd like a video and my thumb just instinctively would just whoop, swipe up. And I'd be like, all right, the next one. And it would fucking go on for another half an hour after that. And that's terrible. I don't like feeling that way.
See, if I'm all right, I'm done with TikTok, I'll just get off. But that's how my brain works. If I'm done watching a movie, I'll just stop watching the movie.
It depends.
Anything with that.
It depends. Because, if I find something entertaining, it's very hard to stop. There was times when I was watching One Piece through the first time. I'd go, okay, one more episode and I'm going to bed. And then it would be 5 episodes later, it's 11:30. I got to get up and or 3.5 hours to go to work. Fuck, I better go to bed now.
I've never done that.
I've
Really?
done that multiple times.
Me too.
I
My thing is-
it just, I get so enthralled by it that I'm
Mhm.
just into it and I want to keep going. I want to find out more.
Even if I'm in that, I'll just hit my pause. Even if I'm in the middle of something,
I can't.
I'll just shut it off.
I can't. I have to.
Finish this video, finish this episode.
Yep.
I'm not like that. Aaron can attest to that.
Yeah.
Because I know
If I'm tired, I'm like, all right, this will be tomorrow's episode.
not a lot of shows, but a good chunk of the animes always land on a cliffhanger because they're actually only 10 to 15 minutes of content,
Yeah.
and it's hard for me to leave it. It's
Yeah.
really hard for me right now, the fact that I'm caught up with One Piece and I only can watch it once a week. Hi, Dre.
Oh my god, you
Sheesh.
scared the living
I thought
fuck out of me.
That was so fucking
I'm
scary.
sorry I didn't respond to text.
Look on Sav's face.
I creeped out. I honestly, have I told you my house is haunted? Yeah, it is haunted. I honestly thought the ghost was just gonna act up like super hard there, and I was like, motherfucker. We've had lights turned off on us multiple times. Randomly, I'll hear footsteps in the attic.
The bathroom door will lock when
When you close the door behind you every once in a while, yeah.
The feet in the attic, that's just the Jews. Don't worry about that.
And the one time you had the woman breathe down your neck, that's
Yeah,
the
I was
biggest
playing a
thing.
VR horror game, and while I was playing the game, it sounded like a woman breathed down my neck, and the speakers were on the front of my face, so there was no way that I could hear anything from the game behind me, and all these guys were sitting down, and then I was standing in the middle of the room. Yeah, I know you do.
No.
No, and the more we talk about horror and stuff, I think it acts up more too. Like, it's just like, I'm still here, just so you know.
We've literally this whole entire time we've been talking about what we're going to play for our Halloween stream. So it's mainly horror games. So
Yeah.
We did once.
have once.
You know, Halloween's getting closer than I thought. Like,
Yeah,
it is.
like, I need to get my Halloween costume lined up. No.
he's hardcore judging. I hope you all know.
yes.
I can
And if she
feel
says
it.
that, she's lying.
Yeah.
It's a
This
serious
is our
business.
Tuesday nights. Or every other Tuesday.
Every other Tuesday, I want to come just to add my comments.
Oh, if you want, go grab the chair from the living room.
Yeah, go grab a chair and
Go
pull
grab a
up.
chair, sit in.
Bet.
If you want, you can just put your backpack in the living room. The cats shouldn't mess with it.
Shouldn't.
Jinx, you owe me a coat.
Think about all the contents just sprawled everywhere.
It doesn't matter.
Bitch.
The floor. It's so funny because you can't hear her talk, but then you can hear her laugh like she's like, right next to the mic.
You ain't gonna like it.
You won't like it.
Why? What?
She hates many things. You.
That's fair. Just
Yeah, I know. I know.
But no.
Mutual.
No, 'cause I gotta figure out my sizing for my Halloween costume yet, because it's gonna be weird.
Extra
Sizing.
buff.
Yeah, because
What are you doing?
I'm doing Zorro from One Piece. That's why I'm dyeing my hair green, having Dre dye my hair, and you cut it.
We're tag teaming this.
and the sizes are like small, medium, large, and it's like head to toe costumes. So I need to figure out my measurements so that way I know I get one that fits decently.
I'm at.
Time out. Did you really just say you're gonna tag team Alex?
I heard it.
Jealous much?
No, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm just saying that it was just nonchalantly said, and then we were gonna act like it was never said.
Just gloss over that real quick.
Hey guys, I think we finally have Borderline Hooligans Rule 34.
uh,
Oh, hilarious. That is hilarious. Love it.
God damn.
So if I set your Wi-Fi password out loud right now, would you have to censor that?
I don't know.
How does that work?
Alex, I'm
Do you
just gonna
even
read
know
off
my
your
Hi.
password?
That is Dre.
I'm amazing.
You can hear her laugh, but you can't hear her talk. And that's also a lie, so.
Whatever. You love me. Shut up.
Nope.
He said, bring the mic back to Seth.
Yep. That was enough, Dre.
Never. There's never enough.
Your presence is enough.
Oh, fuck you. I'll shave off your mustache.
So, Brennan, what do you have over there?
Oh, good transition, Alex. Mighty fine of you.
Mighty White.
Any horror?
I didn't realize
so-
we were doing this until Alex said something, to be completely honest.
I saw
Brennan,
it over
you
the
gotta-
corner, and I was like, okay, we got to transition over to that at some
You
point.
got to introduce your segment here.
Yeah, so this is
BGT JFF.
JFF.
You
It's actually
never
the
let
last-
him introduce his own
Nope,
segment.
it's my fucking podcast. It's all you guys say. It's my baby. You guys just shit in the fucking diaper. So shut
I
the fuck up.
fucking shit so much in it.
What an asshole. What an asshole. So this is actually
I know
the
what this one is.
last one that I own that's actually worth talking about. Or I buy a new one, inevitably.
Coming
So,
up Friday, let's do it.
Maybe so. We'll find out. So this is the Gewehr 88 German rifle. It's also called the commission rifle. So
See
this
how-
is actually the what's that? Nope. This is a little bit before that. A little bit before that.
Jews in the attic.
Using oh yes, adding juice in the attic, aren't you? Anyways, so this is actually the
Hold on.
direct.
Okay, bye.
All right,
Okay.
see you, ladies.
See you. Get out of here.
I don't know. Okay. Anyhow,
It could have been much smoother than what it was. Anywho, so this is actually the direct successor to the very second gun that I brought in here. The second oldest one that I have, the Gewehr 7184. So if you'll remember from that episode, basically just a brief story here. This one was created because the French created a repeating rifle that shot smokeless powder, which is a big advantage. You get more velocity out of a smokeless cartridge. You can't see where the enemy troops are firing from with the smokeless cartridge. So the Germans pretty much rush through this thing, and it's got some Mauser components, but most of it is not derived from a Mauser. Really, this is not even considered a Mauser, even though some people consider it to be a Mauser. And actually, this is where the famed 8mm Mauser cartridge comes from, which I brought in with the last two guns that I have. Although it is a little different, the shape is a little bit different, and it's a rounded nose, not a Spitzer or pointed bullet, so the velocity is also different. This has what is called a Mannlicher loading system. So Mannlicher, you need to remember that he was just a gunsmith in like the late 1800s, and Austria used his rifle design during World War One. Basically, what it is it uses the N block system, which, if you guys are familiar with the M1 Garand, it does the exact same thing. You load your rounds in the N block, and then whenever it is out, it shoots out of the top of the gun and makes the ping. Whereas this, so you open it up, and this shoots an N block clip of 5. You'll load that in. You'll fire that out, and when the last cartridge is fired, there's a hole in the bottom of the plate. Well, there's no plate. There's a hole in the bottom of the magazine, and the N block just drops out.
Does
instead
it
of
make a
firing
noise?
out the top.
Yeah, because it's a bolt gun, it can't do that.
It doesn't
Yeah.
make any noise, does it?
No, it just slides right out. Now, in the trenches of World War One, having an open gate to your mechanism, your magazine and such, is a very bad idea. So that eventually got fixed, but more on that later. You'll notice, especially whenever I send it around, this one looks rather different. It looks thicker, with about 3 Cs.
That's one of my favorite parts about this rifle.
It has a barrel jacket. So it's got the barrel, and then you'll notice that it's thicker. This is literally just a piece of sheet metal that's rounded around the barrel to offer some sort of protection against wear. But actually, it wound up doing the exact opposite, and
Holding moisture
it would
against
hold
the
moisture
barrel.
in, and that would rust the outside of the barrel, which is why that wasn't a very common thing on after this, but there were a couple other models that did. So I'm not sure what this one looks like exactly, because I haven't taken the barrel jacket off.
That's got to be one of the weirdest feelings. Like, yeah, it looks good condition wise, but it could be absolutely terrible underneath.
And you have absolutely no idea.
Or it could be immaculate.
I mean, the bore is very good, but who knows what it looks like under the jacket. So pretty much eventually, this one was only in service for a little bit, and eventually it got replaced by the Gewehr 98, which is the predecessor to the Kar 98 that I had in here. Pretty much the exact same thing, just a little bit longer. And this one, it served in some colonial wars. It actually was in much of the frontline service in the early part of World War One, before they got enough Gewehr 98s out there. But then they also modified this one, so they made it suitable to the regular 8mm Mauser, which would mean they would have to fix up the receiver a little bit so that way the cartridge would fit in, and then they made it so that it would fit stripper clips and not be an M-block system. So they pretty much just closed up the bottom and made it able to be loaded like a regular Gewehr 98. So from there, it was pretty much the exact same thing, just the different aesthetic things. So a little bit more here. So this one, I always like to say where this one is from. So the receiver is actually very worn. Brady's seen it. I know because he was with me when I bought it. But you can make out a couple things. So it was made at the Ludwig Lova factory, which was in Berlin. Basically, he was a gun manufacturer, big gun manufacturer guy in the late 1800s in Germany, owned a lot of companies. This was made at that factory, so there were only a couple years where it was made like that. So I think it was like 1890 or 91 is when this one would have been made. But you really can't see a ton. Those markings were scraped off. Let's see. China used a shit ton of these. Germany actually used these in China. A lot of Europe got involved in putting down a rebellion in China in the early 1900s, so a lot of these got used by China. Also Turkey. Both those countries use a ton of Mausers just because the Germans love to ship out weapons and make money off of them, and those two countries just take a shit ton and just use whatever they can. So pretty much this is very similar to how the Mauser works. So this has got like the flag safety, except it doesn't have a center position. It has just a left and a right position.
Which is safety on or
But
off.
like, yeah, so it doesn't lock up in the middle, but then you can't move the bolt at all, and the trigger's assembled. So there is that. The sights are pretty much the exact same thing as my 7184, where you've got 200 meters, 300 meters for the next up, and then you can flip it up for the ladder, but mine is missing the little slider that can set in different ranges. However, around here, that really does not matter because...
Full send it, bro.
Yeah, full send. And really, that's about it for this one. That's special. It's kind of a mismatched one, which kind of makes sense. They just kind of got shuffled around here and there. They've got a bayonet log on the side, which was pretty commonplace for the German military. And this is actually kind of unique to others. I have a part of a cleaning rod. So I say part because that it works. So I have here, it's pretty much a middle section. So basically, when I pass around, you'll be able to see it, and it's kind of ate up in places because it's been exposed to the elements for 200 something years almost. So the idea was you'd be able to get a couple of guys together and screw them together to make a full length one. That way you didn't have to have a long ass rifle or carry around a separate,
Carrying or
Rod.
cleaning rod.
So-
or
you had to
whatever.
get 3 guys together to put together one cleaning rod.
yeah, generally. So for the most part, it was meant to be a rod to get loose cartridges stuck. So like if you had a jam, like the spent casing gets stuck in the receiver, get it, ram it down, and then pop that out, and then that's that.
Continue on.
Most of the
because,
time,
like,
me and the guys, we'd have ourselves a
we
little circle jerk.
love to
and
Put our
ram things.
rods together.
put our
We
rods
love to
together.
put our rods together and ram things.
This is exactly what the Germans were thinking.
Oh yeah. So that's pretty much it with this one.
You know how Hitler liked gay people.
He didn't.
So do you have ammo for this one yet?
What's that?
You have ammo for this one yet?
No, I do not.
I didn't think so.
Because, like I said, I've got plenty of 8mm Mauser. It's just that it's an entirely different cartridge. For one, it'd be an entirely different thing because I'd be shooting a Spitzer round as opposed to a rounded nose bullet, and that completely throws off how far it shoots and the velocity and such. But the shape of the cartridge is also just a little bit different. Yeah, I'll pass it around. If you guys have any other questions, just go ahead and ask.
Another one of the things I find interesting about this is mentioning the not knowing what's underneath the barrel. What do you call it? The
Sleeve, jacket.
jacket.
The jacket.
I want to say shield or anything, but it's kind of an odd thing because it's actually soldered on.
Yeah.
But like it's not like you can just remove it and look underneath it.
If you have to desolder it.
You have to do an actual major,
Yeah. And obviously that was made for it to be sealed like that. The idea is to not have to take it off.
Mhm.
But obviously,
that
whenever they
ruins it
came
at
in
the
for
same
service and
time.
whatnot, things happened. And they discovered, hey, no good.
Well, because I know with building presses, we do we have what's called a bolster plate. They'll go like on the bottom side of the press where the underneath the material's being stamped or whatever. And we have temporary ones to do like run-ins to test the machine to make sure it's able to take at least a decent amount of wear and tear for 24 hours straight or whatever. Like we'll run it for 24 hours, like stamping itself, I guess. It's not stamping parts, but it's just like bumping against the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And if you forget to like oil under this temporary
Keep going.
Go ahead.
Okay. This temporary bolster or put a gasket underneath, you'll take that bolster plate off and then the bed will just be like rust spots everywhere. Like, and you have to redo the entire bed and everything with that shit. So I can imagine that being just like finding that as a terrible idea, how fast they would want to get that out.
Well, just like changes in like temperature, causing things to just, condensate.
Yeah.
You're fucked already. I mean, that's, for all we know, that thing could be almost rusted through to the inside of the barrel and we'd have no clue.
Yeah, I would please take that apart before you ever fire that thing.
Like I said, the barrel is
Nah.
like the bore is absolutely immaculate.
Yeah, but
like,
one of those spots in the bore could only be a 1/4 inch thick. It's look good on the inside, but
What is this little switch thing?
so
right
that's
here?
just a lock for that barrel band. So the whole thing is held in place. The front barrel band has like screw and everything,
Mhm.
and that's one that has the bayonet lug on the very front. But like you press in on that side where you're at, and that loosens it, and then that's just all a part of
Disassembly.
disassembly.
Okay. I just want to make sure what it did before I decided to.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing would
It-
just like fall
It
apart.
won't do anything.
Don't press that.
will-
That's the self-destruct button.
Yeah, that'll just loosen up that barrel band there with the bayonet lug or the sling mechanism.
I got
I'm
you.
a big fan of the looks of this gun.
it does look sweet.
Something about the thicker barrel as
Thick.
well.
It's just like it looks like it honestly to me
It's
like
got some weight to it.
Oh, yeah.
too.
well to me it looks like a musket. Like just with that thick ass barrel.
looks mean.
Right.
Now, if you clean this thing up,
Yeah, I did like the week after I got it, I
I was
think.
gonna say, because I thought it looked pretty tough, but I don't think it looks that bad now.
Yeah, I got some good dirt off of it. But like the guy who owned it was very knowledgeable. And that's I asked the standard questions because whenever you are buying something like this, you want to make sure that it wasn't like converted to be like say to shoot the new 8mm Mauser because like it could have just lost its play at the bottom, and you gotta check to make sure, especially because like if they're supposed to be labeled S if they can shoot Spitzer bullets, but like with the wear on that, you have to make sure. And if a guy like that doesn't know what he's talking about, or he doesn't know what he has, and it's like, well, then shit, I'm not gonna buy this. And he knew what he was talking about.
You heavily debated this one. You do
I
know
did.
for sure.
Just because like I don't know, it is kind of rough, and I've been kind of wanting more of a project firearm like this. There's not much I can do really about it, but like, I wanted something that I could kind of do a little bit of work on and be an amateur gunsmith with some things like that.
I also
I
don't
can-
remember this being like an absolute screaming deal either.
It was.
It wasn't like a bad price, but
No,
I mean, like,
It wasn't terrible. I just had to debate it because like I wanted to own one, but like it wasn't big on my list either. I'm like, well, how often am I going to see something like this? Over at that show we've been going to, there's been a lot of odd stuff
one-off
for like
oddball.
years now.
This has copper or tin in it, doesn't it?
It might.
I can
Why?
smell it on my fingers. Smell my fingers.
Oh yeah, I know the smell. I have a brass pocket knife.
Yeah. It has that.
When you were a
Penny
kid, and
smell
you
to
stick when you were a kid and you stuck pennies in your mouth.
Well,
Yeah,
That's
that
the thing.
thing.
Like big around these. I mean, these old guns, they all have kind of a smell like that, though.
20
It's just-
cent.
no, it wasn't that I smelled it on the gun. It was after I handed it to Brady. I was like, went to wipe my face with my hand, and I smelled it. It was like, holy crap!
But I've noticed a certain smell like that whenever I handle all of them.
I'm
But
smelling it right now too.
I think a lot of it comes from the it's the oils that are in the wood for one.
I think so. Whatever it is, it just smells. it has
Anytime
that
you grab
penny
one,
smell.
they have like you just rub your hands together and you can feel that there's something, and that's the original oil. That's over 100 years of grime and finger grease and shit and all that.
It's been
handling.
marinating.
It's been marinating. So that's that. There's not really much else to say about this one.
I'm a big fan of the looks of this one, but I swear I say that every time.
Not a gun that got a lot of like good reviews. But
It's
still
one of those guns though that probably turned a little bit in here and there of gun advancement just by how wrong it was.
really. I mean, yeah, I guess in a way. I mean, it was more of a reaction than anything else. Like this is just kind of a conglomerate of ideas. The barrel jacket was a very bad idea.
This is the reason we don't use barrel jackets to this day.
But like really, there wasn't a whole lot of innovation because it just took a bunch of what was already there in terms of innovation and basically made somewhat of a Franken gun just because they were so rushed to get any sort of smokeless powder weapon
On the field.
out there to combat the French potentially.
Yeah.
So, but in the end, they had the better rifle. I mean, the Gewehr 98 is like one of the best. Like the 98 action itself is like basis for pretty much every bolt action rifle today. And the 98 is just a fabulous gun. So it was well worth it. 10 years of marinating ideas for Paul Mauser got that done. He had nothing to do with this gun. He felt very slighted that the government didn't reach out to him to make a gun like this.
I'd feel sorry
better.
too.
I mean, and he came at them back with the 98. They're like, "Hey, good gun. We like that. We'll take that."
What's the machine gun that has a barrel jacket?
You're talking about the oh, I think there's a couple, but like the one that I'm thinking of would be
the famous one.
the Vickers. So like, there are a couple of ones. There's like the Maxim. There is the
I'm
Vickers.
thinking of the Maxim.
And see, they have a jacket though for a different reason. That is meant to cool the barrel because
So the Maximum.
high rate of fire, they would dump water into machine guns.
Now think
like
about that.
the jacket.
You've
Yeah,
got this
it's
big
cool.
barrel jacket, and they fucking just pour this bitch
Well-
full of water, and it just sits in this metal.
I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was some more recent wars, not like Vietnam and past, that they actually have removable barrels because to
So actually,
Yeah.
I'm not sure when it started, but I know
That's
for a
longer
fact
than-
that the Germans on the MG42, which is a fabulous machine gun, they had interchangeable barrels that were very quick and easy to get
throw
off.
in
It's
and
like
throw out.
It's like 2 or 3 steps max to just switch out barrels and
So that way you
like
have a
that.
cooler barrel and then you let the other one cool off. and
because
you-
the rate of fire on that one is absolutely off the charts. It is absolutely ridiculous how fast
Yes.
that gun fires.
When you get to the point where your gun has to worry about overheating, is when you get to some nuts. Like, it's insane.
yeah.
Here's the thing that like the machine guns in World War One, they were mostly water cooled. Like the Browning, that one was air cooled, but Browning was different. He was just a great gun designer. But,
Built
like,
different.
most of them didn't fire fast enough to warrant more than water. It just got to the point where it's like, well, shit, we have to deal with how heavy this is with all the water, And like the British, whenever they were fighting in the deserts in World War One, they ran out of water, obviously, because like there's not much water, so they would like piss in it, and like they would have,
I bet that would
Yes,
smell
as that-
phenomenal.
and that would be, and that didn't
Hot piss.
Hot piss on the
That's
tip
hot-
of my lips.
hot piss, and that didn't obviously work out too well. Uric acid is kind of corrosive, so that didn't work too well on their Vickers machine guns. But like, I mean, it's the thought that counts.
Wait till we get to the point where we have machine guns that have radiators, so we're water cooling them, but we're actually pumping water in and out of them so that consistently.
You know how big that gun would have to be.
I know.
Yeah.
But so just because we're getting deep into this, we actually kind of have a double feature. We're going from old to new as fuck
Ah.
with our guns
Brand
here.
new,
Yes,
never been
I wasn't even
fired.
thinking about that. That Brady's going to have his
My laptop bag.
new one.
So Brady, why don't you explain this?
So I have bought a Stealth Arms Platypus. It's a double stack, 9mm, uses Glock magazines, 1911 style pistol.
That thing is beautiful.
It is absolutely
absolutely
beautiful.
beautiful. I am a huge fan. I have not shot it yet, but I need to.
I need one.
The price
What
on
now?
that thing is just fucking
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I
though.
can't get one. now.
Actually, to be honest, if you compare this to every other gun in its same class of gun, this is the budget gun.
Is it?
Yeah.
So like a lot of people compare this to the Staccato P, and that one starts out at like $2,400-$2,500, and you're not even talking about like custom. That's like base model. They don't custom build theirs for you. This is $1,700 custom built for you.
That's true.
Well, 14 at the base, but I guess whatever.
No, it's a pretty sick gun though.
No, but a 1911 taking Glock mags is fucking insane.
Oh, it is so nice. Glock mags are pretty cheap to come by, and instead of the standard 1911 holding like 8 rounds,
You can hold like 16.
17 actually. But
Yeah.
yes. And you can also get extended base plates that actually extend your magazine out to 20 or so.
Yeah.
And you can buy 33 round magazines that fit in this thing. You know, it's
It's ridiculous.
Not in California, kids.
Well, fuck that.
But it's just absolutely fucking beautiful.
Alex has got to see it already.
I love this thing.
And so
I-
has Brennan's dad actually. When he
Yeah.
picked up your guys' truck, he checked it out.
I'm still not a big fan of the slide lock though. I
It's
guess
a
I
1911 style. I mean,
yeah, it's just look where my thumb's at. It's
all
sliding
1911s
right behind.
have the same.
I know. I'm just used to my pistol. Like I pull back and I
It's a
raise my
lot.
thumb
That's a
up.
good sized pistol. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's a lot bigger than mine.
But for how much like
It's
size,
light as shit.
it's aluminum frame instead of steel frame like most 1911s. So
Well, that is like.
Yeah, it is
Whenever
light as hell.
I went to the gun shop to pick it up. I picked up this case and went, "Am I being punked? Is it not in here?" Because I thought maybe the guy at the gun shop messed with me. You know, he's
He's a friend of his.
Yeah. And I opened it up, and I still thought I was being punked because I couldn't see it, and it was actually in this top part in this package, and I was like, "There's no way it's in there."
It's
And then I
light as
opened it
hell.
up, and it was in there. I have now held a 1911 in one hand and that in another hand, just to see what the difference is. That slide, ball
It's
bearing.
nice. I love it. I
it's
need
very
one.
Smooth.
I need to get my
one
red
of
dot
those.
for it yet.
I don't like. I still don't have the gun that I want to conceal and carry. Like I can conceal and carry mine, but I don't even want to conceal and carry that. I think that'd just be fun as hell to have and shoot the shit out of.
This back part right here.
Grip safety. So you have to have your
You
hand
had
on that.
You had to
And
squeeze it in order to
need to
fire.
fire.
That's a pretty common 1911 thing. You can't actually, like, if you drop that on the ground, there's no way they'll ever fire because the grip
Unless
safety
that
is
grip
not-
safety goes in as well.
But then you'd have to press the grip safety and the trigger and,
Yeah,
to fire that by dropping it.
it just
This
looks
is
sick.
just such a beautiful gun.
I still think my favorite part about like them making the platypus, like granted it's called the platypus because of that beaver tail they have
Beaver tail.
behind it, but they have a skin that you can get with this. It is literally called Perry the. Like the fucking full send with this is insane.
I absolutely
and
love
cool.
that color scheme too that goes with
I'm
it.
gonna get it with that color scheme, and I'm gonna get a red dot on it, and that red dot is going to be painted like a dark brown with a little black stripe
It's
on
also a really odd sound because usually most things like that are steel frame. So, like, the sound
it.
it makes,
Aluminum is weird.
it doesn't make that clank that most,
Mhm.
like, 1911s do. But it's so smooth. I'm a big fan. And actually, I did not know this until recently, but they stand behind their products so much that apparently the owner test fires every one before it leaves. So that has been test fired by the owner himself before they ship it out.
Damn.
And then also there has been, I've heard this from 2 different people. The owner has had an instance where a guy got it shipped to his FFL, and the FFL was, looking over it and found out that he could pull the trigger without the grip safety being pushed in, and it would fire. It didn't fire, like the trigger fell
Yeah,
or whatever.
the hammer would go forward.
And so the guy, messaged them, and actually, I didn't know this, but the owner has his own personal helicopter, and he flew to Michigan in his personal helicopter and fixed the gun for the guy.
Damn. Like that's some customer service.
Yeah. For the owner to take his private helicopter to fix your gun is nuts. These are all custom built per order. So I order mine and they custom build it to my color, my specs.
That's pretty kick-ass though.
If you get bored, go
I
to
need one.
stealtharms.net.
And just design it.
I
Just
didn't
design
see
one.
what the laptop was for.
It's that.
that.
Oh, That's not a laptop.
Yeah,
Obviously.
Nope, definitely not a laptop.
You told me
You
it was
think-
a laptop. I asked him what the satchel was for,
I
and he
said-
said, I got a laptop.
I said, you mean the laptop bag? That's what it looks like. It reminds me of
does.
our
Lied
old
to me.
netbook bags.
But
You should have known better.
But it's
Right.
gonna be my race gun eventually. I'm gonna try to get
competitive.
me more proficient at shooting fast. And if I need to get, I got it cut to fit the Leupold Delta Point Pro, which I didn't know they actually made like a plate that covers where the red dot would go.
This thing.
So it actually, if you
Hey Brady, you know how we used to say I'd stick my dick in that tailpipe?
Oh,
that one right there,
Yeah.
it'll probably fit where the magazine goes. It's pretty wide,
Yeah, it is.
double stack.
It's
I'd
not like
stick my
you need a
dick in
whole
that
lot to get
magazine
in there either.
Magazine. God damn, I
He'd be
love
fine
this
just
thing.
going straight down the barrel.
you'll say that
Let's
just
be
went over
real
most
here.
of everyone's heads.
Comes with two
Right down the
two
barrel.
Glock
pea
magazines,
shooter.
actual Glock
I'm way
brand.
over your head. Okay, calm down.
Just like that joke that I made before.
I like the Glock magazines. They
To
show
be
you how
honest, I
much
wasn't
fits in
paying
there.
attention to what you're saying. I was
Obviously.
too enthralled by the beauty. Okay, like look at this thing, Brennan. Tell me it's not beautiful. Tell me this is not beautiful.
I'm just worn out by 1911s. Everyone
looks
makes
like a
one. I
gun to
mean,
me.
it's
It is
nice.
absolutely
You know, I
phenomenal.
just hate that everyone makes one and they're not even unique anymore.
I just like that this one is made in Ohio. Let's put it that way.
Right.
and it's fully custom to order. Like you can get it however the fuck you want. It's awesome.
It is. Big fan. There's a lot of different customizations you can do. I also found out the other day that there is one lady that paints all of these. There is one lady that
Does all the detailing.
All
No
the
wonder why
paint,
it took
yeah.
14 weeks for that sumbitch to come in.
but previously before they got really busy, you could order one and have it in less than 2 weeks.
Wow. That's pretty good, though.
And they're becoming more and more of a thing. I hope they absolutely make a staple in the industry.
They should. With how beautiful that thing is, they should.
I mean, you can already go online and watch videos of how to disassemble them by different people, reviews, like any other firearm you would buy.
Yeah. Well, boys, do we have anything else? Because we are reaching an hour and a half at this point.
Yeah.
Do we have anything?
It's a lot different than last week when Steve just wanted to keep going.
Yeah.
How long did we go last week?
We went for like 2.5 hours, but we did take a 15-minute break.
We were at actually an hour and a half, I thought.
Oh, were we?
Yeah, because I asked you what time it was, and then we're like, let's cut it off there before we go out and start
Pretty sure we were
doing
past.
more.
We were
hour
at
and
an
a half.
hour 6 when we started our break, and it was an hour 15 when we started back up again. And I know that
It might have been like
that
1:45
video is probably
might
like
have been.
2.5 hours long.
Yeah, I don't think it was as long as 2.5, but I don't think it was as short as 1.5.
I don't think it was
I think it was
1.5 hours.
1:45. Well,
It might
in
have
the
been,
middle.
but
Pretty
I
sure
know
that's
it
what
was up there for our episodes.
Any horror, anything else?
Any horror? Anything else? Anybody? Any stories? Any comments? Or are we going to go straight into it?
I think it's just going to go straight into it.
On that note,
Bye.
Brady, tag me in.